Yo, it is your boy Shinny. Thank you all so much for your support, and just for those of you who purchased the knock decks, they will be coming soon-ish. It's currently being printed, it's not finished printed, so it's going to be about a couple more weeks, maybe 3 tops, and just be on the lookout for it. Thank you all so much for your support again, and Champions is on tonight? No, on Monday, so go check it out, it'll be fun. See you later, bye.
Alright, thank you Shin for that lovely intro and for giving us information on what we all wanted to know about the Shin Lim Nox. So as Shin said, the decks are being printed, so expect updates in the next few weeks. I do think Shin is rubbing off a little bit on me with the hair. How do I look? Now, in my last video, I taught the diagonal palm shift with Shin Lim. If you haven't checked out that video, link is down below. But I do, of course, realize that the diagonal palm shift is a more advanced move and you're not gonna get it right away. And maybe you wanna substitute that move until you learn it with something else. So, this is something that I used to do when I was 14, 15 years old. It was my go-to control and my go-to sort of palm. If you've seen my other videos, I never really did a full palm and I didn't learn the diagonal palm shift till years later. So this is the palm that I used to use all the time when I wanted to put a card from the middle of the deck, push it in, and then palm it out. So let's check out how it looks and then learn it. Before we get into the step-by-step explanation of this magic tutorial, what is the deck? A lot of people will ask me, what is the deck that you're using? These are the Defada Collaboration Nox. Defada is a company in Italy. They are the biggest distributor in all of Europe, and we did a collaboration with them, as well as did a collaboration last year with a lot of companies and people. And a lot of these decks were not available for you guys to purchase. So what we're doing is we're taking all the collaborations that we've done in the last year and in this year, and we're putting them together as a bundle set, and that will be available very soon in the next few weeks, so stay on the lookout for that. Let's get into the tutorial of how to do this move. Alright, so for this move, what we have to learn first is basically a lateral palm. Now, there are a whole bunch of ways to palm a card, but for those of you that are not comfortable, like I am not comfortable palming in this position a lot of the times, because let's be honest, this is a weird position. For the most part, it's not a natural way to hold your hand, because usually you hold your hand more relaxed and all the fingers are curled in. So this can be somewhat unnatural. Sometimes we want to play around with different ways to hold your hand while having a card concealed. This is why I love the Gambler's Cop so much, is because you can have your hand rested and in a position of where it's more natural, just like that, okay? Now with that being said, let's take a look at what the lateral palm is. Now the lateral palm itself is going to be with the upper right non-pipped corner, let's say if you're doing it face up, in between, so we're gonna hold it in between the middle finger and the ring finger of your right hand. Of course, if you're righty holding the deck with your left hand, the card will go into this position right here and be held with the middle finger. Alright, so that is the position of what the palm is. Now, a lot of people have done various versions where they hold it higher or lower depending on what you need it for. For us, we're just gonna do it in the middle, between the middle finger and the ring finger, and held by the middle finger, okay? So that is the palm itself, and you can point. You have this finger open to point. It's a little bit more natural because your fingers can be curled. And you can do other stuff by spreading the deck or having the card come on top like this. So there are natural positions of what you can take this. And of course, just to keep in mind, as with any palm, you do not want to be like this the whole time with the card in your palm in any way that you're doing it in front of their face, just because I mean, it's weird. Let's just be honest, it's weird. So a lot of the times with the palm, you do want to come down with the hand. And just take a look at this. When you do perform, usually, film yourself and see how many times, without palming, do a routine that does not involve palming, how many times your right hand goes down to your waist, or rather just drop your hand, how many times your left hand comes down, how many times they come up and down. These little things in between the moves and the routines and your patter are also very important, so you know which move to use, which move you could get away with, which move would be awkward to do, right? So keeping that in mind, the lateral palm is like this. And now we're going to learn how to do it so that you can get into that position by pushing the card in, seemingly pushing it in and keeping it in this lateral palm position. What you're going to do is first have the card selected and you're going to place it inside of the deck as you were to do, I guess, any control, maybe a diagonal palm shift, maybe you're going to push it in and get a break. So you're taking it from the front, pushing it in. Now your fingering position has to be a little bit different. What I mean by this is that when we do this move, what's going to happen is that a lot of times it's going to get stuck on the pinky. So you're going to push it in and it's going to get stuck on the pinky and you won't be able to do the move correctly. For that to happen, you have to move the pinky away and move all your fingers away so that your pinky is not up here, but rather more towards the corner, all right? So as I put it in, I just readjust the deck so it's a little bit higher in the hand and the pinky is as far down in this corner as possible, all right? That's important because when you're gonna do the move, you have room so it doesn't hit the pinky. Remember that? That's probably the most important step. Now the second step is to align it so that you go into the lateral palm even before you start pushing it in, all right? So the way that it's gonna look is like that. So you're gonna push it in, but already you're gonna put the upper right hand corner into the position in between the middle finger and ring finger and then squeeze and grip with the middle finger, boom, just like that, before you even start pushing it in. All right, so you're gonna push it in here, and then as you go to push it in all the way, you're getting into that position, grip down, make sure it doesn't stick out like it's doing right now, okay? Boom, boom, and now start to push in. Now you're gonna push in almost at an angle. So you're going to push in and now tilt so that your middle finger hits the corner of the upper left hand side. So what that's gonna look like is this. So I'm pushing in, but the middle finger is, I guess, going a little bit towards me, curling in a little bit, which is gonna get that card to kind of go on the angle like that, all right? So that the middle finger is now aligned with this corner. All right, so that's step number 2. Step number 1, get the deck a little bit higher in the hand. Maybe show the card one more time. Step number 2, go ahead into the palm position and start to push so that the middle finger aligns with the upper left-hand corner. Boom. And now step number 3 is you're going to start moving the card out. All right, so it's moving out of the deck while you are squaring up the card and pushing it in flush with the middle finger again. So here, and now moving the middle finger from the left to the right, squaring everything up. You could do this as many times as you want. This is a little bit excessive, okay? A few times is enough. Boom, boom. And now, once the card is out fully, I like to just, with the first finger, just go over it again and now drop my hand, all right? So it's a 1-2 step. From here, into position, push, pull out, come back, square up, release, this hand goes down, and you have completed this palm, as it were, fully. So again, here, move it a little bit higher, don't get that pinky, and you'll see what's good for you, because when you do try to do it, if your pinky is a little bit higher, you'll see, it gets stuck, it gets caught on the pinky, so you know how far up and down you have to move it. Here, push, pull, now it's all the way out, and now square, release, this comes down. All right, so that's all of it in action. Boom, You see, now it got stuck on the pinky. I made my own mistake of what I was trying to avoid. So that's just to keep in mind. Another tip for it not to get stuck on the pinky is to start rotating it right away, and that helps by what we talked about. The middle finger pushes in and sort of comes towards you so that it ends up on an angle like this. So you see how it's not hitting the pinky? It's because if it was the angle. If it was straight on, it would hit the pinky. All right, here, here, here. Now you can do a few things to clean up. Now the few things that you can do after the card is palmed is obviously bring it down and steal it out basically if you're using this for a palm. If you're using it for a control, it could be very easily placed on top of the deck. So from here you're just going on top of the deck as you dribble or you spread. So it would look like this. Push in, square up, drop, come back to dribble, and you place it on top of the deck. And all you're really doing there is just taking the card, placing it on top like this, and now rotating your hand to grip the deck and dribbling, okay? Another thing you can do is just spread underneath. So after you've palmed it out, show the card, palm it out, spread underneath, and now you can go into stealing the card out or replacing it on top of the deck as you just riffle or square up the cards. Either way, you've completed it. Another thing that you can do with this is to sort of shoot it out and catch it into the other hand, or rather make it appear but make it look like it's shot out. So in this case, we'll take this card and then we'll shoot it into the other hand or make it appear. One thing that I would do is have a card and place it in the middle. Let's say I control it to the top, and now I'm gonna do a top shot. So I do this and I do a top shot so that the card lands in my right hand. So now we're gonna do it a little bit quicker. I place the card inside just like this, watch it from the middle, and it'll jump and appear into my right hand. Now this is something that I wouldn't usually do, but I think it might be fun if you like visual kind of stuff like that. From the lateral palm, just to make it appear, all you have to do is press with the thumb and have it pinched between the thumb and the middle finger. So it's going to appear just like that. So you're pushing it down, okay? Now I won't go too much into that. This is something that you could play around with just because I don't really know the ins and outs of how to make this look good. I don't think it looks good when I do it. So that is something that you can practice and really make it sort of appear, kind of pop it out like that, okay? So those are the different things that you can do with this move. I hope you enjoy it. Alright guys, there you have it. That was the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, because you're not going to want to miss the things that are coming up very soon. And also one little piece of tip, or rather a piece of information that I wanted to add here for you guys, is that you really have to think about the move in the context of the routine that you're doing it for. So what that means is that this, for example, this move could be substituted in for a diagonal palm shift, yes, or for any other palm. But what makes the move good for that particular scenario is what comes before and what comes after. So sometimes in a diagonal palm shift, well, obviously we're palming with the left hand in a diagonal palm shift. So what do you do after that? Do you place the deck on the table? Do you spread it? Well, I spread it with the right hand, and I have them maybe pick another card or go into a routine where I need to do something with the right hand, so it just makes sense that I palm with the left. But sometimes you have the card palmed in the right hand, just as in this case with this palm. So with that, what do we do in the routine to make it make sense with the right hand? Well, you're gonna be left with the deck in the left hand. So in your routine, what do you do after you do that palm? Does it make more sense to have the card palmed in the right or the left? And with these kind of decisions, you can sort of see while planning out your routine, your tricks, your reveals, all of that stuff, you can plan out what is the best move for that scenario. So my piece of advice is to learn as many moves as possible, be as diversified as possible, and you're gonna make your magic much, much stronger. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you very soon. Peace.